Yes, indeed, folks. You're listening to Wow Radio. This is Blue Please with Total Biscuit. And I managed to blow my nose, so I might sound a little bit less nasal, but it's not that likely. Quite frankly, I'm a little bit of a mess. Anyway. Right. First things first. Just before we go on with the next topic, which is casual gamers versus hardcore gamers and the content therein, we must address the idea of musical taste on the radio. Now let me make this quite 100% clear. It is absolutely impossible to please everyone on the radio when it comes to music. Especially when it comes to a talk show. As let's face it, you've got to be seriously hardcore and extremely talented to be able to keep someone interested for 2 hours just through pure talk. Sorry, I'm neither interesting nor talented enough to entertain you for 2 hours of pure, uncut talk. Therefore, it's a case of 50 minutes of talk and a bit of music. When it comes to the music, it's impossible to please everyone. So, I'm not going to apologise for any of the tracks played on the show. Absolutely not. If you don't like them, turn the volume down for a little while. Anyway. I hate being ill. Let me put it that way. And someone needs to cast remove disease on me right now, because this is such a pain. Never mind. Right. That was, of course, Ask the Murloc that you heard there earlier. Ask the Murloc. Good call. Everyone seems to like that one. That's always good. There are more features coming up later in the show. By the names of Rap in the Forums, No Cake News, and, of course, Imbecile of the Week. However, if you want to submit questions for next week's Ask the Murloc, you can do so. Email themurloc@gmail.com. Right, let's get on with it. Hardcore gamers versus casual gamers. Alcan in the channel asked this, so why are we even talking about casual versus hardcore? Do you have a better suggestion as far as discussions goes? I think, to be honest, first time ever, the first thing I saw when I headed over to both the European and the American forums was stuff about hardcore gamers and casual gamers and the content as regards to those. Now, basically what we've got here is a group of people, hardcore gamers, so-called hardcore gamers, saying we need more content. We need more level 60 plus content, as in we need more dungeons, more raids, more high level equipment, more challenges, because we've pretty much kind of hit the game hard and finished it. We've reached end game and there's not that much to do. Admittedly, there is some stuff to do. Plenty of high level instances, lots of PvP to get, and of course Battlegrounds coming out soon. And more raid content. Of course, the Blackwing Lair coming out next patch, always good. However, they're complaining there isn't enough content. Now, I can understand this. I can understand this is an idea. But you've then got the other side of the coin. The other side of the coin is simply this. You've got people called casual gamers who are complaining that there's too much high-level content and that they're not getting enough mid-level content. Now, this is where we reach an impasse. We have two fragmentations of the community in the form of hardcore gamers and casual gamers. Now, I want to assume that casual gamers are kind of self-defined in that stuff like that, who have lives. They often claim this, say, oh, we have lives, girlfriends, jobs to worry about. Yeah, that's cool. Then we have the hardcore gamers. Hardcore gamers, I assume, have reached level 60, possibly have 2 level 60s, have hit MC, have their armor set, all that stuff. And we hit an impasse, because one side wants one thing, and one side wants the other. So, how do we proceed? Here's how I would proceed. Firstly, casual gamers complaining about lack of new content. 1, not true to start with. Let's get that straight. There has been content. that does not require you to be high level. The honour system does not require you to be high level. Yep, helps, but you certainly get honour at any level. So there's now a reason to PvP at any level. That's a start. We've had new recipes, we've had plenty of that. We've had new quests added, new vendors. We've had 2 large outdoor raid encounters, which do not necessarily require hardcore gaming, but just require a hell of a lot of players. But here's the rub. Basically, bear this in mind, the low-level content was already in the game in the first place. It is already in the game. And this is what people should realise. It was there. Bit weird that people don't realise this. Say, oh, well, we need new low-level content. Why? You've already got loads. You've got, 1,000, 2,000 quests to be dealing with. You go play that content. You've got the honour system to deal with. Yeah, you go play that content. You've got the normal WoW playing. As in, advancing your character, getting more levels, getting more XP, upgrading your trade professions, earning some cash, getting better equipment, doing your quests, and whatever else you find amusement in World of Warcraft. That was already there to start with. Now, what Blizzard are actually doing right now is adding content that wasn't there before. As in, there's not that much high level. So since they've added the large outdoor raid encounters, which are reasonably high level content, they've added Dire Maul, which is high level content, and they're about to add the Blackwing lair. See, it's already there. And that's the thing. The low-level content is already there, and that's what people need to realise. The low-level content is effectively the game. The entire level-up system is the low-level content. And that's what you're going to be spending most of your time in the game doing, because it is an MMORPG. The idea is character progression. Character progression in the form of better equipment and, of course, levelling up. Excuse me while I wipe my nose for a second. Flu sucks. Anyway, low-level content is already there. So, as far as I'm concerned, the argument for more low-level content is moot. But can you make a differentiation between low-level content and casual content? Now, there's the question. Can you split it? Now, I believe you can. There are ways and means. Recently, Dev posted about a new instance. Now, let me see if I can find this content right here. Where did I put it? There we go. Right. Let's bring that up for a second. Right. It's a new instance. It's a new raid instance, basically. And when the damn site decides to load, I shall tell you about it. It's called, if I remember correctly, Zul'Gurub. Yes, it is indeed called Zul'Gurub. Now, Cadium says this: it's designed as a casual raid instance. You don't need 40 people to take it, just about 20, and you can still kill with less. It will not be a long 14-hour affair, and the devs are shooting for a 2-hour experience from start to finish. Good call. So, this is casual raid content. That's cool, that's fair enough. Good idea. And the fact is it's going in. But, to be quite honest, there is a lot of casual content already. Casual gamers can get up to this stage of basically having content all the time. They always do. Whereas high-levelers, on the other hand, will start to run out of content at some point. That is the way of the game. It's a new game. We don't have as much content as, say, EverQuest does, because it's been around for ages. What we do have is quite a lot of interesting content. Well-designed instances. A very character-filled game, really. A game which is not generic in any sense of the word. And that's the rub. Low-level content already there. Casual content already there. More being added. Now, people have suggested solo instances. An interesting idea. Not sure they're entirely necessary. But it's an interesting idea nonetheless. A sort of gauntlet-style affair, if you will. but instance. Yeah, way to go. Lesser length instances. The thing about dungeon crawling is, especially in pretty much every single role-playing game that's ever been released, dungeon crawling has always been a large bit of the content because it's taken a long time to do. That's the idea of a dungeon crawl. That's why it's called a crawl. That's why it's there. So, shortening instances kind of makes the whole instance idea a little bit pointless, in that a dungeon crawl is supposed to take a while. Now people say, oh, well, I'm a casual gamer, I don't have that much time to spend. Well, that's what your weekend is for. If you wish to play to a specific level, then you must sacrifice a little bit of your life, I'm afraid. That's what the game does. It takes away part of your life. But it's entertaining. What's the difference between playing World of Warcraft for, say, 6 hours and doing a high-level instance, over watching the TV for 3 hours, going to a bar for 3 hours? It's all entertainment. It doesn't really matter. So, it's an interesting kind of puzzle where you've got casual gamers acting like elitists in a way, and they're kind of in this cliquey group that claims to have a life and all this exciting stuff going on, and yet seems to find the time to complain about a video game. Interesting idea. Oh well. Anyway, that shall be the subject of Nubcake News coming up in just a few minutes' time. See what's coming up with the channel. Now, Ginny comes up with this idea that solo instances equal gold farming. Yeah, that's actually a biggie, isn't it? The thing about an instance is not the experience you earn from it, it's usually the rewards you get, and that usually means cash. So, Sack has this idea that MMO doesn't mean you have to do stuff together. I would disagree with that. The fact is, with this game, it's far more solo-friendly than others. Yes? It is. It is far more solo-friendly. Try soloing EverQuest. Good luck with that. Not going to happen. Try soloing Neocron. Good luck with that. That's not going to happen either. Blah, blah, blah. The same with several other MMOs. The thing about MMO is this massive. The idea about massive is the social aspect of it. I've said this before, I'm sure of it, that the social aspect of an MMO is a big part of it, and it does make up in some way for gameplay issues. Because let's face it, compared to, I don't know, let's see, Baldur's Gate, content is there, and it's all solo because you're playing it on your own. Now, you in an MMO make some of the content. Some of the content is made by you interacting with other people, and that's the entire point. So yes, I would actually say that it's a massive point in World of Warcraft and in any MMO in general to get involved in some social aspects. It has to be done. It is essential to your MMO playing experience. Otherwise, why play an MMO? Just play Diablo. Or play Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, anything like that. Now, 99 comes up with a good point, and he says this: just because there is a main course doesn't mean there shouldn't be other things on the plate. Yes, but that's a bit of an unfair accusation when it comes to World of Warcraft, because in reality, a lot of the game is soloable. Most of the game is soloable. You don't have to do instances, and you can get to level 60 solo. It can be done. But no, you cannot solo high-level raid content, because you cannot sacrifice high-level raid content in favour of a solo kind of playstyle, because that's not the way MMOs are supposed to be played. That's the reason they're massive in the first place. They're massive to allow social interaction, lots of teamwork, that kind of thing. So yes, that's my call on that particular situation. Now, when it comes to this kind of thing, Nubcake News always comes along. It's been a hot button, and Nubcake News likes to make fun of hot buttons. So coming up right now, this week's edition of Nubcake News. And it deals with casual gamers versus hardcore gamers. A warning before we start. This is satirical. Some sarcasm will be found right here. So, if you do not like sarcasm, satire, irony, and all those good British humour things. Tune out for the next 2 minutes. This is No Cake News. You listen to Blue Please on WOW Radio with myself, Total Biscuit. My voice is going. That's not good. Let's see if I can hold this for another hour. No Cake News, folks. Enjoy. Welcome to this week's edition of Nutcake News. Coming up later, a special on the impending nuclear holocaust and the comedy which can be derived from it. But first, today saw the first major protest from the far-right terrorist group Casual Gamers United. This group follows a strict code in which its members violently object to the idea of those who invest more time in World of Warcraft getting more rewards out of it. Recently, they have been responsible for the bombings of several high-level guild halls and a small supermarket in Loughborough. When asked to comment on their particular brand of fanatical communist zealotry, CGU Grand Wizard Trog the Magnificent had this to say. The infidels of Blizzard have gone too far this time. The recent announcement of the Zionist Blackwing Lair is the last straw. Too long have we, the casual gamers, suffered the oppression of the Westerners. We shall rise up and declare jihad upon the power gamers. It is outrageous that those who spend 60 hours a week in game should gain more than those who spend 5. This displeases Allah. This reporter attended the mass protest through the streets of Stormwind. When asking why only 7 people showed up, was given the answer, they're all at work or have lives and girlfriends and kids. Screw you, power gamer. Before being chased by a couple of babbling maniacs with hatchets. When asked to comment, Blizzard President Graham What's-His-Face issued the following statement. Character progression is a vital part of an MMORPG environment. It is essential to a persistent world. However, we are a caring company and we listen to our customers. Therefore, we shall be offering all players a free upgrade to level 60 and full armor set free of charge. We would also ask Casual Gamers United to stop blowing up our employees. It's extremely rude. They were only working as intended. It seems, however, that this will do little to placate the protesters, who were earlier seen attempting to stone a level 60 to death, and then complaining loudly about how his armor value was too high for their stones. This has been No Cake News. Good night.